Hello, my name is Jesse Mecham with another episode of the Jesse Mecham Show, and I'm here each week to obsess out loud about spending purposefully, saving aspirationally, and giving joyfully. It all comes down to just, deciding exactly what your money is for. And today I want to make the case that a little bit of your money is for making your life easier. You might even say full of ease. If we're going to never worry about money again, then when we talk about money, we won't feel stress, we won't feel strain, we won't feel any undue effort. It will just feel easy. We've even said boring at times. The thing that we do to get you to where your money feels easy, of course, you're following the whole method. You're giving every dollar a job. You're working the questions. You're deciding what you want to do with your money now. You're thinking about later and the large, less frequent expenses. But there's this little bit in there. We want you to fund next month. We want you to be fully funded on the first of the month that you are facing. And it's a little bit of a quirk here at YNAB. It's a little bit unique to us. This is not your emergency fund. It is just meant to make your life easy when it comes to money. What does it look like? Well, what does the opposite look like? It looks like living paycheck to paycheck. It looks like a pile of bills waiting for money to arrive. It looks like you always having to grocery shop on Friday because that is when you get paid. When everyone knows the best Costco samples are on Thursday. Everybody knows that. It means, actually, it's not that the Costco samples, they're the best on Friday. That's actually, one might argue volume-wise, Saturday is more of a contender. But Thursday, at least here in our little area, Thursday is where, should I even say this? Should I lie and say it's actually Monday, which everyone knows is a fool's errand? I'll tell you. I risk ruining Thursdays at Costco, but Thursdays, they're just stocked the best, especially in the produce section. So just know that. And can you imagine being forced to shop on Friday when you missed good stocked produce on Thursday at Costco? No, that's what paycheck to paycheck stuff does to us. But it's far more insidious than that. It means that every conversation you have with your significant other, when you're stressed because you're living right on the paycheck to paycheck edge, it means that those conversations are loaded. So if we're talking about money being easy, one of the best things you can do is make conversations about money with your spouse easy. And they are not easy if you are running hot, okay? Running hot means you get your paycheck on Friday, you spend it all, and then you're broke again immediately. What we want to do is break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And what we do with, how we do it, I should say, is by funding next month's jobs. So you might have your groceries for the current month, and you're all fully funded, and everything's going great, and you get a paycheck, and you give all those dollars jobs, and then you look ahead, you got a little bit of money left over, and you look ahead and you think, hold on, I've got $300 here. Maybe let's say you spend $1,200 on groceries. I've got $300 here. What do I want to do? And you put it toward the next month's groceries. You've just weakened the shackles of the paycheck to paycheck cycle just a little bit. You're like Jack Reacher, where you tucked away some little thing to pick handcuffs. Apparently you can use virtually anything, and handcuffs are super easy to just pick. So you're like Reacher in that instance. We're breaking the paycheck to paycheck cycle by slowly, as we have more money, as we're working the method, we are just sending more money into next month until one day the month will turn over, it'll roll over, and you'll be sitting there on the first. You'll be staring at the month, 30 to 31 days off into the distance, and you'll realize that you have all of the money you need for all of your categories already there. And you're paid in 4 days. But you'll also notice something about you're paid in 4 days. You didn't notice that you were going to be paid in 4 days because that paycheck to paycheck cycle, that little demon that's just always hounding you, isn't there. And suddenly, when you're at work and someone walks by your office and says, woohoo, today's the day, and you're looking, you're like, what, did I miss an appointment? Did I miss it? What was there something? What was it? That's what happened to one of our teachers, Aaron. in school. A teacher walked by, yahoo, today's the day. Aaron, having broken the paycheck to paycheck cycle, did not notice that today was payday. What if you flipped everything on your head? Instead of even anxiously sweating for the paycheck to arrive, what if you didn't notice it arrived? What if all of your bills were on auto pay? What if things just kind of hummed along? That's what happens when you get to a point where you are fully funded on the first of the month with old money, with money from prior paychecks. On average, it takes YNABers about 4 months to get fully funded on the first. And then you don't have to keep making that effort. You just have to maintain it. It's like running really fast on a treadmill and you're like, I'm going to die. And then someone comes along and just be like, hey, whoa, you have this at a 4% incline. And they lower it and suddenly you're just like, I don't feel like I'm going to slide off the back anymore and become a meme. I feel like I could do this forever. When you've broken the paycheck to paycheck cycle, your money becomes boring. You feel an ease around the management of your money. And you can just do your thing, giving every dollar a job, deciding what you want your money to do for you. We break that cycle by fully funding categories by the first. Now, it takes a bit, 4 months on average. Some of you longer, some of you much quicker. Some of you are like, well, how does an emergency fund play into this? I'll maybe get into that in another episode. Short answer is emergency fund is like a net that will catch you in case of an emergency. What we're talking about here is an optimization. It is a way of managing your money that breaks you out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Having an emergency fund does not. It is that net there for you. And it is better than nothing. My word, is it ever? But it is not the same thing. What people notice when they do YNAB after a while is emergency funds don't really get used because we're thinking so specifically about what we want our money to do. We think specifically about what used to be emergencies. Anyway, it's a whole other episode, which I think I've already done. Okay. Adopt a position, a strategy of ease with your money. Maybe in a next episode or a future episode, I'll talk about moving money around and how people have set up 19 bank accounts and how you shouldn't. But for today, I just want you to think about breaking this paycheck to paycheck cycle that is so stressful, breaking it so that conversations are easier, paying your bills is easier, making decisions is easier, thinking about what you want your money to do, it will be easier. Having your paycheck not hit on Friday like your employer said it would, God, what a nightmare. But if it didn't, floating that for a little bit, easier. So that's my pitch for you today. If you haven't, you've probably heard of this if you've been doing YNAB for a while. If you haven't done YNAB at all and you have no idea what I'm talking about, ynab.com/Jesse. But if you're just using the software and kind of saying, yeah, I use the software to kind of help, store my thinking and let me think hard about what I want my money to do. Okay, that's great. But I would encourage you to have some of your money be for ease. It will change your life. It will certainly change your money. And isn't that just a little bit redundant? Until next time, remember, just give every dollar a job.